Alright guys, the NBA Finals are over and odds are you're not a Thunder fan because the population of OKC is like 23, which means you're probably in the same boat as me, having your heart being broken by your NBA team this season. But hey, you know who else breaks hearts? Women. So let's build an NBA lineup using all the women who broke my heart. My therapist said this would help me get over my PTSD. PTSD's nuts! Alright, first up, we have to start at point guard with the woman who started this all. The entire rest of this roster is going to be built on this one player. Our primary ball handler, our old reliable, the belly of this beast, James Harden, aka the manipulator. In case you are born post 9/11 and don't remember, James Harden wasn't always the player he currently is. When he entered the league, he was just a lowly bench player for OKC until the Houston Rockets gave him a chance to be the face of their franchise. That's when he started to go off. Look, I am very aware of who I can pull and who I can't. I'm a very average dude, but even very average dudes get lucky sometimes. Sometimes you see a girl who is not getting the love and affection that she deserves, and even though you are average, you care, and that's all that matters to her, so she decides to give you a chance. That, my friends, is James Harden. He is the girl that is kind and sweet and wonderful, and you start to think that you really have something special going until she starts losing interest in you and gets fat. Kidding! I would never call a woman fat, just ugly. What James Harden does is he manipulates. He has forced basically every team he's been on to trade him away by pretending to be fat. He'll gain like 50 pounds and becomes James Harden, and you have to let him go because he is immobile. But then when you trade him away, he shreds all the weight in like a week and becomes an all-star again, until he gets annoyed with his team again and the cycle repeats. James Harden is the type of girl that manipulates you into thinking that you don't want to be in a relationship anymore when in fact she was the one who wanted out first. There's nothing wrong with our relationship until she got fat, but oh, she's fat now? Guess I gotta leave you before I catch your diabetes. Wow, that is insensitive. Look, I'm not trying to fat shame here. Fat is a metaphor. That's an acronym. I don't actually hate fat women. I hate all women. Fat could be any sudden trait that stalls your relationship. Are you suddenly busy with work? Well, I don't want to be with someone that doesn't have time for a relationship right now. Oh, God suddenly told you it's no longer the right time for a relationship? Man, if only I was on the praise team. All of these are reasons for you to want to end the relationship, but as soon as you leave them, she loses 50 pounds, is suddenly unemployed, and no longer even believes in God. She doesn't want to look like the bad guy, and so she tricks you into making the decision to leave, and so you leave the relationship wondering what you did wrong and if you are the problem. Look, every guy knows the sadness of losing something that was once beautiful, of losing your first love. Every other player in this lineup is a result of losing this first love, which is why Harden is the essential piece to this lineup. Every other player comes as a result of him. For example, every guy also knows that the sadness of losing your first love often leads you to making stupid decisions, like putting Luca Doncic as shooting guard. Look, in some ways, Luca is the opposite of James Harden, which is why when Harden breaks your heart and you no longer want anything to do with him, you often turn to Luca. Luka Doncic is the rebound, named after his greatest skill. And if you disagree with that statement, just know that he has 44 more rebounds in the NBA Finals than Joel Embiid. Anyways, this is the girl that is willing to spend the rest of their career with you, the rest of their life with you. And initially, you were also head over heels for her. But as you got to know her, as you spent time with her, you realize you don't know what you saw in her to begin with. Why? Well, unlike Harden, who is pretending to be fat, this girl is actually fat. Kidding! It's not that I don't like her because she's fat, it's because defense doesn't win championships. Man, free Nico, he did no wrong for her. There comes a point in every man's life when he realizes the rebound isn't the one, and so he has to break her heart and leave her. And you might be wondering, how does this break the man's heart? Well, if you are an empath like me or Nico Harrison, sometimes it breaks your own heart thinking about how you are the reason that someone else is hurting. Okay, next up, we're actually going to fill out our small forward and power forward position at the same time because we're going to compare these two side by side. At small forward, we're going to have Tyrese Haliburton, and at power forward, we're going to have Domantas Sabonis. And I know, having Haliburton at the 3 isn't quite the best position for him, but it's 2025. We play positionless basketball out here. All of these women can play me in all of these different ways. Wait, maybe I'm the problem. These two were traded for each other years ago, but they are not at all similar. Let's start with Sabonis, aka the settle. Did you know Sabonis had the 8th best player efficiency rating this season? Higher than Haliburton and higher than LeBron. Nobody ever respects this dude, but if you do your research, everything on paper is great. But that's why he's the settle. This is the girl that you don't really think about because everything about her seems kind of eh. But when you do get to know her, grab a couple cups of coffee with her, watch a couple sunsets with her, you realize Everything you want is there. She graduated Ivy League. She counsels people simply because she cares. She makes a whole bunch of money working in a New York City high-rise. She's cute and she likes you, but she's still missing something. You can't really explain it. She should be the perfect match, but she's just not a championship player. This girl is dangerous because she is so good on paper. A lot of guys are content to settle for this girl, and if you want to be a mediocre playoff team, then this is the girl for you. But if you are trying to get a ring, or give one in this case, this isn't the one. As for Haliburton, this is the terror, the potential. This is the girl who's a little funky and not usually your type, but you see what she could be in the future if she starts hanging out with you more and learns from you, and so you decide to give her a chance. She's lazy and sleeping is her favorite hobby, which is much too boring for me, but if she keeps going on fun dates with me, then maybe she can pick up new hobbies and then I can fix her. She doesn't listen to country music, but she does listen to K-pop, and that's basically the country music of Korea, so maybe I can fix her. She isn't kind of strangers and in fact doesn't say anything nice at all, but I flirt with every girl I meet, and so maybe she can learn from me and I can fix her. Also, she's hot. As you can see on the surface, Haliburton is very different from Sabonis, and so one usually follows the other. If you've been with a Sabonis for a while, you're likely to go for a Haliburton next, because yes, this girl could be a disaster, but the hope of something really special, something really different, reels you in from the boredom that came from you being with a Sabonis. At the same time, if you were with the Haliburton previously, you're more likely to enjoy the stability that comes with being with the Sabonis. But what you have to realize is that deep down, these two are the same. You know how many rings both of these players got? 0. Neither one is a championship player, neither one is Endgame, which is why they will break your heart. But you know who might be Endgame? Our starting center, because I've saved the best for last. This is the big man in the paint who will be the backbone of our defense and the focal point of our offense, our glue guy, Ben Simmons. Okay, so arguably Ben Simmons is the one player in this lineup that will hurt you the most. He is the emotionally unavailable girl. This is the girl that you want so badly, but she doesn't want you. Just like Simmons doesn't want to play games, she don't want to play games with you either, which is usually a good thing, but the problem is, she don't want to do anything at all. No practice, no talking stage, no shoot around, no interest in being friends. She low-key wants to retire from the game and hates all men. Now, if you were a logical person, this type of woman would not interest you. The problem is I'm not logical. I think that if I put in a little effort and she sees how great I am, she will all of a sudden change her mind about me and fall in love with me. So I try to put myself in the best position possible. I hold every door for her. I never let her pick up her wallet. I text her paragraphs about how pure her heart is and how she is different from every other girl I've talked to in hopes that she might show an ounce of interest in me, but no, there is never anything there. She is just not emotionally available. I can't scream because I'm indoors right now, but listen to the schizophrenic voices in your head. So that's the starting lineup of singleness. Harden, Luca, Tyrese, Sabonis, and Ben Simmons. 0 rings on this team, but hey, it'll probably get you 50 wins this season. Thank you for listening to my presentation. This is hopeless. Man, I need to find my Patrick McCaw. If you got that reference, you need to go touch grass.